So I'm going to follow up with a little bit of breathing and some exercises to be done on our backs. So in a seated position, a lot of times at the end of class I'll let everybody lay down flat, but we spend a lot of time sitting, so let's think about opening up our body to the breath while we are in that position. And I think about first finding my base. I want to feel a place that's as even as I can on my hips. As we know, even if I sit on one side on my hips, I'm going to bring myself upright. But we've kind of done a lot of twisting in our spine and compressing in our organs to get there. So let's minimize that effort and find an even base through our hips. And then think about letting the tension out of your shoulders and lifting the chest just a bit. We want to create a path, an easy voyage for that breath. Now, it took me a long time how to learn to breathe deeply. For a lot of my life, I thought take a deeper breath meant all chest. So one of the things that helped me a lot was thinking about water being poured into a jar. As the water pours in, it builds up in the bottom and the level comes up from there. So as I focus on my in-breath, that is the image I will have. So think about losing that self-consciousness. We tend to want to tighten through the belly and hold it in. Let that be loose, expand into that space. As I inhale, I'm feeling from the bottom up. As I exhale, I want to empty from the bottom up, like you're squeezing toothpaste. As you squeeze that air up and out. Feel free to continue that for as long as you would like. From here, I am going to roll down onto my back. So nice and slow, I'm going to tuck my hips under and then try and lower my spine to the floor. Once I get there, I'm going to take a moment to wiggle across your shoulders and your hips, sort of nuzzle yourself in there. And then I'm going to work myself into a bridge. So I'm going to bring my hands down, lower my shoulders, bring my feet to hip distance apart, as close to my hips as is comfortable. Nice slow breath in, kind of engaging the outside of your shoulders to the ground. And as I exhale, I'm going to push into my heels, tighten my butt, and lift the hips up towards the sky. Tightening in around the butt and thighs will help to support the low back. You can also press down through your arms. Last breath in. As I exhale, I'm going to lower my spine to the floor. Now we just did a big spinal extension, so the next exhale, I'm going to flex my spine and roll in towards the center. One more breath in. Not easy here. As I exhale, I'll relax the upper body and then slowly the lower body. I'm going to do one more nice bridge, starting in that same position. This time I'm going to leave my hands here and try and bring them underneath my thighs or back to get a little more lift. So a slow breath in. As I exhale, I'll lift. And then bending in from the elbows. Sometimes we can press against our thighs or under our hips. I'm going to take some weight off my feet and really let the weight of my legs drape down towards the floor. So you should really feel the front of the hips, even down into the bottom of the rib cage open. And then I want to breathe into that space I just made. One more breath in. And I'll release the arms. Exhale and slowly bring my spine back to the ground. And then I'm going to move into a routine that we love at the end of class. It starts with upside down cobbler. So as I exhale, I'm going to bring my feet up I've made this nice little diamond out of my legs, and you can hold on to the feet. If that's not possible, hold on to the thighs. We're just going to pull the legs in towards the body. And once your inner thighs surrender to that stretch, I want you to stay there for one more breath. And then we'll get ready for happy baby. So we're going to fold the feet up towards the sky. A little bit of pressure as we're pushing the knees towards the floor, and that could be feet, shins, back of thighs. You should hopefully feel your spine start to flatten into the floor as we tilted the hips up. And when you feel like you've got as much contact between the ground and yourself, I want you to start to rock side to side. Let the upper body relax so that your shoulder blades are getting rolled across as well. And we want the head to be as relaxed and neutral as possible. If you'd like to exaggerate that movement, you can extend the limbs on the side you're rocking towards, but it does take a little more oomph to get back up. We call this one ecstatic baby because it's just a little happier than the other baby. And we'll come back to center. We're going to move into a wide straddle. You can support yourself here or give yourself more pressure, supporting underneath, pressing down if you'd like. Roll and point and flex through the ankles. And then we'll bring the legs back up. And we're just going to let them fall towards our head. Or we're going to manipulate them somehow closer to our body. I don't recommend this for everybody, but I feel like doing it. So plow would be up and then over. If you roll down from here, roll down very slowly and carefully across the spine. I'm going to keep my right leg in towards my body and stretch that left one out on the ground. And from here I'm going to move into a twist. That right arm can come out to the side and I'm going to roll that left leg across my body. I allow myself to roll all the way up onto that left hip and then try and leverage that right shoulder and arm back to the ground. Find a neutral position for your head and enjoy the breeze. At least if you're me, or maybe you'll take this outside with you. I'm just letting the weight of my limbs deepen into that stretch, feeling it through the spine and across the outer hip. My job here is to surrender and soften and breathe. There are a lot of ways to come out of this, and often I will just circle that leg back down to meet the other foot, which rolls me back onto my back. Take a moment to realign your body, loosen through the shoulders. As I exhale, I'm going to draw that left knee in towards my chest and actively reach out through the right leg across the floor. I can reach out through the left side as I roll to the right. With each exhale, we're letting go of the tension we hold surrounding our spine. We're loosening through our jaw. We're softening our face. Deepening with each breath. We're going to have one more inhale. As I exhale, I'm circling back onto my back. And then I'll bring my head up here with you guys. For this moment, I want you to take another opportunity to shift your weight across your hips. Point and flex through your feet. Shift through the shoulders. You can lift and lower the head. We're just trying to address those places where we might still feel tight and locked. And sometimes on purpose, I'll reach out through every limb and strain and stretch and tighten. So that way, as we exhale and we loosen, it feels that much more dramatic. It's easier to feel places that are still stuck. But I want you to let your arms rest at your sides. Let those fists uncurl. Let your feet fall open to the side. With each breath in, I want you to notice where places of tension are. And with each breath out, I want you to allow yourself to release that tightness. And then we let go of the rest of the body, bringing our focus to the breath and to the heartbeat. And I like to start by emptying my cup, getting rid of any emotional, physical, spiritual heaviness. So using that exhale, we're going to focus on that exhale first, trying to really press the last bits of air from our lungs, trying to let that exhale be longer, slower, and fuller than the breath in. Continue to breathe that way, focusing on that long exhale. The breath is one of the few ways that we have a very strong tool to take control of what happens physiologically. When we focus on a longer, slower, stronger exhale, we are kicking in our parasympathetic nervous system. And what that is your rest and digest, your it's okay, we'll make it, that nurturing side of your nervous system. To where the other side is our fight flight, which a lot of us are feeling panicked and fear right now for justifiable reason. But when you need it, as often as you need it, try and take at least 3 breaths where you focus on that slow, steady, complete exhale. Sometimes I'll count. Always the suggestions are 4 on the inhale, hold it for 2. 6 on the exhale, hold it for 2. My lucky numbers are 3 and 7, so of course I cheat a little and I say 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 2, 3, inhale 2, 3, hold 2, 3, and continue. You may find your set of magic numbers that work best for you. Once you have delved into that and feel like you are now an empty and receiving vessel, we'll switch our focus and our breath to the inhale. On the inhale, I want you to think about filling your lower lungs, under your ribs, and your chest. And release. Low, mid, high, release. So opposite the letting go and the emptying, we are now filling and restoring and re-energizing, using the breath to draw the energy that you need for the week ahead, whether that is bravery, whether that is patience, whether that is empathy. Let your belly swell with the breath. Let it surround your heart. Let it fill your chest and throat. And let it go. And when you feel like you've relit that fire, like you've refilled your cup, then let your breath return to its normal, natural pace. A few things I find helpful. One of them is to reach out through your limbs. We've just focused all our attention to the center of ourselves. And if we get up from here, we may feel a little sleepy and groggy. So with each inhale, we're going to reach out through our limbs. You can shift through shoulders, reach through arms and legs, wiggle through fingers and toes. We're drawing that awareness and that energy back to the edges of ourselves. Another thing I really like is to roll onto your left side. A lot of movement really helps to stimulate lymph, which is our garbage men. But in order for lymph to help get rid of toxins in your body, you need to move them manually, and your spleen needs to collect them, and it's on the left side. So if you lay on your left side and take a few nice slow breaths, that helps us to kind of transition back to our day. And that helps our garbage men get their job done. Put a soft smile back on our faces, and we'll come up. Oh, and I really miss this part of class when I get to come up and see all those faces that have lost their lines of tension. And if you were patient enough to stick with me for this long, I'm going to take you on an itty bitty tour because I have a couple flowers blooming. Just a second. They are not on me. Where is my turn it around button? I don't have it. Where's the little flip the screen button? Yikes. I'm dumb, but there really isn't one. Okay. They're a type of anemone. Just a little bright place in your day. There's some lemon balm and sweet William, sweet woodruff. I never can get that one too easily. Much love. Bye for now.